The purpose of this video is about shifting demonic entities, demonic law, interdimensional darker entities. We see so many entities, so many demons, so many parasites inside people's bodies, in their energetic field, and they control humans. When you go into a courtroom, you have to command to see the contracts that you've entered into. To go through this process, you have to know who you are. You have to know that you're a divine sovereign being. Let them know that you're sovereign. Law, statutory law, common law, demonic law, they all revolve in the same soup, the same cauldron of experience. When we facilitate the healing of humans all over this planet, we see so many entities, so many demons, so many parasites inside people's bodies, in their energetic field, and they control humans. And actually getting rid of some of these demonic entities is pretty much like going to a court in this modern world. Very similar, and I've been to court many times. When you go into a courtroom, you're guaranteed to get eaten, unless you understand that you're a sovereign being, unless you understand that you're a sovereign being. When you go into a courtroom, you've got the judge, you've got the jury, you've got the prosecution. They all work for the same boss. It's like a chicken in the middle of the table, alive, and there are 3 foxes around the table. The chicken knows it's going to get eaten. It just comes down to which fox is the strongest or which fox is the fastest. Inevitably, the fox is gonna die. When you go to remove demonic entities from a human being, you go to a real courtroom. There's a bench, there's beings behind the bench. You have to command to see the contracts that you've entered into. And the beings that you entered into the contracts with will sit on the other side of this table, and you're gonna have to negotiate. And you're gonna have to lay down the law and let them know that you're sovereign. And there's a way you need to do that. When you go into courts, you might have had a driving offense. Maybe they've brought you into court because you did this so-called crime or that so-called crime. Well, here's the reality of the situation. When you go into a courtroom, unless you've killed someone, harmed someone, or stolen from someone, you've not committed a crime. It's that simple. Now, the courtroom, they operate under statutory laws, which aren't really laws. They're some kind of made up BS, systematic ways of extracting money from you. That's all it is. It's a money-making machine. Now, when you go into a courtroom, if you know the game, you can ask, where is the corpus delicti, which is the injured party, the body of crime? And so the man or the woman has to step forwards and say, this man has done this to me. And then there's a case. But if there's no body of crime, then there's no case. And so the court will just fold. I mean, they will try all sorts of tricks to try and manipulate you into this and manipulate you into that, but we don't need to go right down that road today. The purpose of this video is about shifting demonic entities, but helping you know, understand that what happens in this physical world is very similar than what happens in the quantum field when you're dealing with interdimensional darker entities. Not all interdimensional entities are negative. There are some beautiful ones. When you go into a courtroom and you say, my name is, they ask you your name and you repeat it. You contract with them. When an interdimensional entity communicates with you unconsciously, when you're in a state of fear or desperation or rejection or guilt or whatever low vibrational frequency you're experiencing, whatever situation you're going through, and you unknowingly communicate back and you agree on some level that this entity can work through you to help you, then you've entered into a contract, and that entity truly believes that it has rite of passage to manipulate your mind, your consciousness, to harvest the energy from your human world on a soul level. This is the game that we're playing, this is the dance. And it's a beautiful one because it helps us learn, it helps us remember, it helps us grow. Hey, I just wanted to drop in and say thank you from all of my heart to all of your hearts. Being a part of this tribe is incredible. For myself and for everyone else. We get to collaborate and co-create and share this awesome content with our friends, with our family, with our loved ones. We really are divine and sovereign, and this content will upgrade your frequency and allow you to step into that superhuman potential. If you haven't liked this channel, subscribed, and hit the notification bell, then please do so now down below so you can keep up to speed with all the latest content. And if you want the team and I to produce some very specific content, then comment below. We read all of the comments and we will respond and we will create the content. So again, thank you for being a part of this. Let's shine our lights, open our hearts, be the powerful beings that we came to planet Earth to be. Now, when I take my clients, or I go on behalf of my clients to these interdimensional councils, the first thing that I'm going to do is demand to see those contracts. I'm not going to ask. No, I don't need to ask. I'm not a beggar. Like when I go to court, I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to plead. When I go to court, I'm going to stand in my power. I've been down this road before with statutory claims, and I've gone into the courtroom and they've asked for Mr. Jerry Sargeant to make himself known. And I've just sat there. Nothing they can do. As soon as I make myself known, then I engage in the situation. There are many different ways to handle the courtroom, but you've got to know who you are and you've got to stand in your sovereignty. When you're in these interdimensional courtrooms in space, and there are different ones for different situations, I'm going to command to see those contracts on behalf of myself or my client or whoever I'm working with, because I'm sovereign. My client is sovereign, and they're our contracts that we've entered into, so we have the right to see them. So what will happen is they'll bring them out and place them on the table. And these contracts can come in the form of paperwork, they can come in the form of objects, so many different scenarios you're going to face, and sometimes there are crazy amounts of contracts. The first thing I'm going to do is let these beings know we're stepping out of these contracts, and that these contracts were entered into unknowingly on a conscious level, maybe millions of years ago, maybe billions, maybe thousands, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Doesn't matter, but they were entered into, and it was entered into manipulatively. And these beings have been harvesting the energy for a long, long time. And that we're going to be coming out of those contracts, and we're going to go through a contract breaking process where we will state some very specific terms. I break all contracts and all agreements, all clauses and all sub-clauses, all spells and all curses, all energy cords and all attachments. I break all artificial intelligence programs and limitations of any kind, seen and unseen, known and unknown, throughout all time and space, across all dimensions, densities, realities, frequency bands and timelines, and I break them now. And I'll say it 3 times. If I'm with a client, I'll get them to say it themselves. They'll be traveling with me. Once we've said this 3 times, we're going to place those contracts into a burning fire. Now, when we place those contracts into a burning fire, many things are going to happen on the other side of the table. Those beings are not going to be happy. They're going to try and put fear into you. They're going to try and recontract with you. They're going to try and take pieces of the contract. And there's things that you need to put into place to make sure that none of that happens, because you could go through this whole process and get tricked. So we'll go through the process, we'll burn the contracts, we'll make sure that everything's gone. Once it's gone, we'll walk away and boom, done and dusted. To go through this process, you have to know who you are. You have to know that you're a divine sovereign being. The corruption that is here on planet Earth is the same as the corruption that's happening in the multidimensional playing fields. If one of my clients has I'm not going to be able to remove that by removing the when the doctor cuts it, most of the time it comes back, because you can't cut out the emotional cause. The emotional cause is invisible, and the emotional cause may have been created in childhood, but highly unlikely. That's just the tip of the iceberg. It's being created in a past life, future life, which aren't really past and future, because there is no linear time in the field. Everything's just now floating in the same space at the same time. So once you get into the field, everything's present. So the future and the past just collapses into the now space. So you go into the field and you find that traumatic reality where the soul is still experiencing that trauma, and you change it. Once you change it in the field, then the can disappear and never come back. This reality that we're playing is an extension of the energetics. It's an extension of the code. It's an extension of the mathematics. Just like the courtroom in space. Everything is an extension of each other. These demons that are in space are the demons that are in the courtrooms, controlling the judges and the juries and the prosecution. And it's all one great big illusion, because there never ever is a body of crime unless it's a real murder or there's a real robbery that's taken place. If someone's been harmed and injured in some way, shape, or form, it's not a crime. Know your power, stand in your truth, speak your truth, and remember, you are infinite intelligence walking around inside these physical bodies. You're powerful, so powerful. You have so much love inside of you. And when you step into that 0 point, you move into that state of equilibrium, that state of wholeness. And out from that state of equilibrium and wholeness, you become love. That is the most powerful, measurable force in the universe. And it's what created you. You are it. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to move away from. You're right where you need to be, and you have all the tools inside of you, in every cell in your body. You're magical, man. Absolutely magical. Wherever you are on this planet, go out into the world and love your sisters and your brothers fiercely and ferociously. Hug them tightly and never, ever, ever be the first to let go. Remember the link underneath this video. Get my book, Activate Your Superhuman Potential, and turbocharge your own consciousness, reality, energetic field. Activate your 12-strand template. Become superhuman. And remember to check out our website, starmagichealing.org. We got some of the best ascension tools on planet Earth. Hundreds of guided meditations, light language transmissions, cosmic yoga videos. Everything you need to thrive and more. So go and check it out. And we meet every Monday and Wednesday for live activations, transmissions, DNA activations, meditations, cosmic journeys, upgrades. It's amazing. And you'll get to connect with beautiful souls just like you on this same magical, crazy, wild adventure that we call the human experience. I'll see you again real soon, beautiful soul. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out.